What happened to the Fort Hood 3 military resistors? Imagine standing up against your own military during a time of war. That's exactly what 3 soldiers did back in 1966 at Fort Hood. They were Private First Class James Johnson, Private David A. Samas, and Private Dennis Mora. These 3 became famous because they openly refused to go to Vietnam. Their act was the first time active duty soldiers publicly resisted the Vietnam War from within the military. They believed the war was wrong, illegal, and unjust. They called it a war of extermination and said it was a terrible waste of American lives and resources. Their stand was brave and clear, and it caught the attention of many people. Dozens of reporters watched as they made their statement, and it inspired others to question the war too. The Army didn't take their protest lightly. They arrested all 3 soldiers and charged them with insubordination. They fought back by filing a federal lawsuit, trying to stop their deployment. But the courts quickly dismissed their case, refusing to question whether the war was right or wrong. The Supreme Court also refused to hear their appeal, although 2 justices disagreed and thought the court should look into the legality of the war. The soldiers were court-martialed and found guilty. Dennis Mora was sentenced to 3 years in prison, while James Johnson and David Samas received 5-year sentences. During their time in prison, they faced tough treatment. They were put in solitary confinement, denied privileges, and disciplined harshly to try to break their resistance. Despite this, their act of defiance became a symbol of growing dissent within the military. Their refusal encouraged many other soldiers to speak out, refuse orders, and even desert. The base at Fort Hood became a hub of anti-war activity, with underground newspapers and resistance spreading among soldiers. Their story is part of the larger picture of the 1960s. It shows how young Americans and soldiers questioned authority and fought for what they believed was right. Their courage reflected the spirit of the era, when many people stood up against government policies they saw as unjust. The Fort Hood 3 reminded us how acts of conscience can challenge even the strongest institutions and inspire change.